Today we're looking at a video by Sydney Watson of The Fat Acceptance is Over. We're going to be taking a look today at the humongous underbelly of whatever the hell this this was.
One bites the dust. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. Just a reminder once again, for those of you who don't know, 50% off on my tea website, Lions Tea Exchange, for the flavors Earl Grey, New York Breakfast, and Emerald Green, because they are expiring, although tea doesn't really expire, at the end of November. I don't want to throw them out, so I would love for you guys to go and check them out. If you haven't bought tea already, go and do so because they're very tasty. Use the code We Don't Waste. Okay, let's do the video.
Yeah, guys. Go buy some homegrown tea from our favorite Hell Gondola pilot here.
Oh, my little baby birds. Fat acceptance, the thing that has dominated almost everything for the last decade or so. Whether we'd asked for it or not, which most of us haven't. Also, don't any of you judge the way that I am holding this mug. It is both heavy and hot. Ironically, all the things that fat acceptance women wish.
Yeah, but we're just getting heavy and sweaty.
They were. Hello, cherub children, editing Sydney from the future here. I just realized that the last Fat Acceptance Movement video that I made, I wore this exact same shirt, and it's entirely...
Ironically, I am wearing the same exact shirt.
Entirely a coincidence that I did it again. I own different clothes, I promise, but I guess going forward, this is going to be the Fat Acceptance shirt, so... there's that. I just wanted to acknowledge it because I thought it was funny. But this has been a movement that's been quite challenging to escape. From fat models going down runways to taking up magazine covers and billboards, the modeling industry itself has grown bigger with plus.
Yeah, they're taking up more room than queso on a TV screen falling off the wall.
Modeling industry itself has grown bigger, with plus-size models comprising of 26% of all models at major fashion week events globally as of 2025. Fat activists went so hard that the fashion industry even started making fat mannequins. As fat acceptance and body positivity blew up online, activists on TikTok created an entire intersectional hierarchy of fatness.
Our organization, what we want from the community as fat people with pride.
You've heard about fat phobia, but have you heard about skinny supremacy? And yes, I traded out the T because this is light and skinny, sort of.
And I think that's what it is. You have to constantly uphold thinness as supremacy. Even if it means you are, in telling them, oh, you're so much better now, you're like shitting on yourself. That's the other reason I don't do it, because I don't want to say thinness is inherently better, because that means I'm inherently worse.
Well, I'm sure you would feel a hell of a lot better. I mean, come on. I mean, at least then you would be in supreme health. Rather than picking up a burrito supreme.
And my personal favorite, the BMI scale is racist.
Especially if you're a white woman like myself, is how our participation in diet culture and the pursuit of the thin ideal is a form of racism. It's upholding the white supremacist ideals. It's really important that we see that we are participating in this supremacy culture and in the body hierarchy by continuing our obsession with thinness. And so if you want to learn more about this.
Or maybe it just could be, you know, the science, the people like her probably claim, especially during 2020, to follow. Maybe everybody's biology is just different. I mean, come on, because our bodies work differently, especially as we age. Yeah, how dare we want to be healthy Yeah, how dare we want to be having a heart attack at 30 or something, or falling through floors or something.
Roots of the BMI.
They teach this stuff at universities, just so that you guys know, in case you needed another reason to go become a plumber. For the last number of years, fat activists have even argued that they shouldn't have to purchase an additional seat on airplanes if they're
That's the only time anybody should be able to see the crack of your ass. Not because you can't fit in your trunks or anything.
too big for just one. As a result, airline companies like Southwest even offered free additional seats for plus-size passengers by allowing them to request refunds after the fact or request a free extra seat upon arriving at the airport. Fun fact, the Air Carrier Access Act may actually consider obesity a disability because it substantially limits things, like traveling. That's gonna be a no from me there, champ. And let's not forget my own experience flying fat, where I was sat betwixt two very large individuals whose fat rolls were touching my body. I can still feel it now. Not great, not my favorite. And apparently that story went viral. I guess it was a, slow news week that week or something. I won't lie to you all, I have been on the internet for a minute, and I always find the stupidest things that I do are the things that go viral. Not the thought out, thoughtful things that I put into the world. The stupid stuff. Like me getting sat on by a fat
gentleman next to me, I'm in his lap. He's on his cell phone. Hello, mijo, I don't think I'm gonna make it. There is a big guy next to me, and I can't feel my leg.
I wrote about that experience.
But seriously though, I do got a similar story to like what happened to Sydney there. And this took place, well, a number of years ago, let's just say. As you can see here, well, this is a very rough representation of basically what it looked like. You see, a few years ago, I was looking for a company, basically, and well, they had to take all our staff basically to the next city over, and well, we had to go to different company locations, you see, and well, for networking reasons, I don't really want to say what company it is or anything. I don't want to get sued or anything, but yeah. Yeah, though, well, anyway, we were working in the next city over, and basically they piled us all into the company van. Now, there were at least 15 of us. Yeah, imagine one of those, one of those transport vans. Yeah, kind of like that, like the thing there in the middle. Yeah, this was the type company van they used, and this thing could only fit maybe, I'm gonna say 6 or 7 people at most. But there were 15 of us, and well, they didn't want to have to rent another van, so they just piled everybody on top of each other. So yeah, let's put this over here. Yeah, but yeah, they piled like a whole lot of us together. Everybody was basically sitting on top of each other, and as you can see, there's me there in the middle. There's the fat cat, and much like what happened to Sydney Watson there. Well, I was between basically a really, but yeah, I was between basically Peter Griffin there and a guy that was as tall as Larry Bird. Yeah, we were basically riding with just a hodgepodge of different people there. Yeah, you gotta work with me here. I'm not exactly an artist, but yeah, a lot of it. This is basically what these guys kind of look like, though. Yeah. But yeah, the Peter Griffin guy was the guy who was as big as Peter Griffin was sitting on me, while the other tall guy was basically just coughing into his shirt for about 5 miles, maybe more than that. I think it was like somewhere between. I think, well, to be honest with you, I'm not even real sure how many miles we went. Yeah, but yeah, it was a long trip down the freeway into the next city over, and then on the way back. And a half a day later, yeah. Anyway, So basically, at the end of the day, this is how the rest of us piled ourselves right back in the van, basically sitting on top of each other. Again, I was sitting right next, basically, to a guy that apparently has been alive since the Civil War. Apparently, this guy's telling me how many jobs he had since since he was a boy. I mean, come on, this guy. I mean, this guy was. It wasn't actually too far from how this guy looked. This guy looked so damn old. He used to tell me how he used to do all kinds of odd jobs, and it went all the way back into like the 1940s, and when he was young. I mean, it'd be going all the way stories back, going all the way past World War II somehow. I'm not even sure how the hell that's possible. I even asked him once. What was it like? What was it like during the war between the states? Yeah, he had a sense of humor about it, though. Yeah, that's me right there. You dude love right there. Yeah, that's the fattest cat in the business. But yeah, we're basically all just sitting on top of each other. I mean, you got like one woman there just sitting on the floor there. Everybody's all curled up and all packed in. And we're speeding down the freeway for 5-8 miles or whatever. Yeah, this was for work. I mean, this was a company trip, basically, between cities. But yeah, after about 8 miles and about 2 hours later, I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't hardly feel anything else, and it was so damn hot I could barely breathe. Oh my gosh, the air was so humid. And that guy who was coughing all the way on the way over there was coughing all the way back home. Oh my gosh. The next day, I came in to work sick as hell. I mean, my throat was just burning. I had like a fever. And no, it wasn't during 2020 or anything like that. That was actually a few years before that. I still had to go into work any damn way. Oh yeah, if you're wondering, yeah, you see the big fat guy up there. That guy was sitting like on the other side of me, on the other side of that dude love. But yeah, that's a little bit of the backstory of the fattest, before I was the fattest cat in the business. Yeah. I have a lot of weird stories about a lot of different jobs I had over the years. That's just a small part of the lore of the fat cat. Yeah. We just kind of look. Got Cartman over there. We got Mick Foley over here. This Crabtree speeding down the freeway around the mountains. Alright, now, and now back to the rest of the story.
Experience for Newsweek, of all places, for the love of God. Anyway, we have been blasted with these things and many, many more for quite a long time in an effort to promote different body types and get away from the heroin chic of the 2000s. Heroin is in. Not the, oh, I'm gonna fight a dragon I've talked about in this series, and yes, me talking about these movements ending is a series now. The overemphasis on being terribly overweight, the normalization of being terribly overweight, is coming to an end. And it's for very similar reasons to the deaths of the LGBT movement, the gender ideology movement, the trans movement, and so on. In part, people have simply gotten sick of it, and the more people who've gotten sick of it, the more that companies have followed suit.
More like about a series of people who didn't move.
Southwest is walking back its free seating policies, and I'm actually pretty sure that other airlines are doing exactly the same thing. Other companies have wiped their body positivity web pages and shifted away from body positivity in fashion and advertising. And would you actually look at the state of advertising? We're back to the models and celebrity vibes of the 2000s, which were quite thin. But more importantly, I don't think your average person actually wants to be fat. Like, a portion of them do, because there's some weird fetish stuff around that. But
pants rippingly overweight. You know how hard it is to find a pair of pants that fit you when you're that humongous. I mean, come on. I mean, just take a look at Yokozuna for those of you guys who remember the WWF. I mean, look what happened to that poor bastard. I mean, that alone should be enough not to want to continue to proliferate this, to encourage this. I mean, come the hell on. Yokozuna, what he did to himself. Ugh. I mean, yeah, I mean, look at even poor John Pinette, for those guys remember his comedy. I mean, that guy was funny as hell. Even he tried to lose some weight, but, yeah, unfortunately for him, it was, well, a little late. He was a real funny guy. Rest in peace, John Pinette. We all miss laughing with you.
Your average person does not want to be overweight. It doesn't feel good, no matter how much you tell the rest of us that you love your rolls.
You sure about that?
No, I'm not gonna subject my audience to this.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
But right now, third reason, and arguably the biggest reason why all of this is taking place. Kind of hilariously, this era of body positivity and fat acceptance was reasonably short-lived, because as soon as people could achieve the bodies they truly
Now that's body positivity right there. I mean, wow.
wanted with a lot less effort than
Yeah.
previously thought, it became clear that
Oh,
body positivity
yeah.
was always a the rise of weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy, the death of this movement has only
Damn. Yeah.
accelerated. You know, not needing to diet or do that pesky exercise to get the bikini body of your dreams is probably quite appealing to most people. But it is really interesting to consider how much these drugs are changing the game. As many of you know, I use Ground News for my research and found on their website that even Pfizer has just purchased a company that will bring
they're a good
injectables
source
to
of
market.
news. Yeah.
There's other reporting at the moment that
Yeah,
says that
everything's
these kind of
posted
drugs are
there.
being used as a quick fix.
Progress
It's really
sources.
interesting how most of these stories are being covered by
Yeah.
the center.
I'm just gonna skip past this. It
Does go to show
it's been over a month basically, and well, they stopped getting paid. They usually stop getting paid for these ads usually after about a month. So yeah, I think it's okay to skip past this.
how these issues get covered by both sides of the aisle and where the biases are. These type of stories long-time supporter of this channel, but because what Ground News is and what Ground News does is so needed during this time. They're subscriber funded, so your support is what keeps them going, and I want to make that really clear. So I strongly encourage you to support Ground News and support what they're trying to do by clicking the link in the description, scanning the QR code on screen, or going to ground.news. So I strongly encourage you to support Ground News and support what they're trying to do by clicking Big is Beautiful. Absolutely livid. Influencers and celebrities who built empires on Big is Beautiful, who promoted self-love and wanted to fight fat phobia, are now posting about their size 4 glow-ups, leaving fans feeling betrayed, to put it mildly. And the comment sections on former fat influencers' videos, which were once full of pro-fat positivity, are now absolutely horrific. Now, because I have discussed the origin points of the fat acceptance / body positivity movements before, I would like to quickly reiterate some of that for those of you who don't know, but if you are interested in more information on that, I will link those videos in the description box. Fat activism started all the way back in the 60s. There was a growing backlash to the body messaging of the 40s and 50s that expected women
Wasn't those like the Jack LaLanne years? Yeah, the original bodybuilder. Well, one of the original bodybuilders, anyway. I mean, back then, his version of body positivity was actually getting in shape. I think he was the originator of the aerobic workout or something like that, anyway.
maintain a tiny frame, take weight loss medication, and stay in perfect shape all of the time. Women to maintain
Doesn't seem very much different than now. Except now you can do it artificially now. I mean, with those Zempic and all that unnecessary crap.
A tiny frame, take weight loss medication, and stay in perfect shape all of the time, which is the of the 40s and 50s that expect.
Back in the days when magazines like this would have pinup models on the cover that made you want to buy the magazine, unlike the uninteresting crap from now. I mean, when's the last time they had an interesting cover like this?
70s and 80s gave people extreme diet culture, like the cabbage soup diet.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that one part from Dirty Work. If you remember that movie where the old guy would just sit in front of the chair all day watching this. You know how hard that guy squeezed a pair of balls? I fucking love that movie.
Gave people extreme diet culture, like the cabbage soup diet that requires people to basically eat nothing.
I hope you're hungry. For nothing.
Please enjoy your serving of air. Around the same time, products like SlimFast.
I remember Slim Fast. I tried that once when I was a kid. I like chocolate. So I tried a little bit of it, and it just gave me diarrhea. Back in the 90s, you see, they used to have things like that. They used to even have chips that would give you diarrhea to lose weight. Yeah, there's a reason why you don't see that anymore now.
Craze, and group weight loss programs like Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig were quickly gaining popularity. Eating disorders were on full display in celebrities, and it didn't sit too well with a portion of the population. This gave rise to healthy at every size and body positivity, the latter arguing that basically you should accept yourself, faults and all. And soon, the same companies who got popular and were once praised for helping people lose unwanted weight were now being accused of body shaming and using toxic, unhealthy tactics. But with the rise of the internet, Tumblr, and Reddit, body positivity morphed and changed, and eventually gave way to fat acceptance and the idea that fatness is beautiful. Fast forward to the 2010s, and it's the Instagram era. Body positivity goes viral with hashtags like fat and fabulous. Brands like Dove and Aerie jump on the
Yeah, that's what you want to think of when you're lathering yourself up with with soap. It's smelling like your grandma. They even got
and plus-size lines. But for a brief, beautiful moment, fat activists really believed here that their message was being widely received by a wider audience. Pun not intended, but welcomed. Obese models were on magazine covers, runways, and red carpets, and activists were all chanting fat is beautiful. And things continued on like this for some time, with micro-communities gaining speed and size on TikTok.
With us no more. You ain't fat. You ain't fat. You ain't fat. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing.
Giving us some of the most insane videos that I have shown you over the years. Discussions around fatness made their way into everything. Racism, ableism, and it was absorbed by the overall progressive movement. But with most things in 2025, all of this went too far. And for us normies out there, it became a little bit too much. Because much as it pains some people to hear this, there is such a thing as too many roles. And I would argue the vast majority of people yearn to be fit and healthy and able to run upstairs. And once again, and do not yell at me in the comments for saying this, it's just my opinion, I would argue that a lot of people who jumped on the fat acceptance bandwagon did so because it's a cope. Weight loss for so many people is incredibly challenging, and I'm not going to deny that. You know, we have very sedentary lifestyles. A lot of people do struggle to eat properly just because a lot of American food is highly addictive, has lots of additives, bad additives in it that is not good for you, that leads to rapid weight gain. So in some ways, it is easy.
I couldn't help myself. I had to. Oh, but I'll get copyright for that. Well, it was only for a few seconds. Come on.
on board a movement that co-signs laziness and makes excuses for you not looking the way that you want to look. You know, remember the whole dieting is fatphobic and fatness is genetic stuff? Me too. Me too, fam. But then there appeared seemingly an easier way out of obesity that didn't involve any massive lifestyle changes or dietary changes or doing really anything significant at all. Ozempic, we go.
Yeah, I know a lot of fat people in my life, guys. This reminds me of back when, I remember when I was younger, I used to go to this one gym. They used to have like these martial arts classes like in the aerobics room. I mean, there used to be this one guy, he must have been at least 4, maybe 500 pounds. I mean, this guy was like Yokozuna levels of fat, basically. I mean, this guy was big. It was really unhealthy. I remember, yeah, the guy came in and the guy was basically desperate to lose weight. Yeah. I don't know, I didn't see him very often there, but yeah. I don't know what happened to the guy. Hopefully the guy lost weight, but yeah. I mean, it is really, I mean, I've seen all the fat people I've known. I mean, it is really uncomfortable. I mean, who the fuck would actually encourage that this is actually, that you're healthy at any size? Who the fuck actually encourages any of that, and why? I mean, it hurts. And you're just encouraging being disabled at that point. I mean, a lot of these people, they can't move very much. I mean, it all feels very cultish.
And Mounjaro, which I think I'm saying wrong, but I don't care. GLP-1 drugs, as they're known, were supposed to help diabetics, but seem to have become Hollywood's cheat code for weight loss. These shots suppress your appetite so hard that you forget what a cheeseburger tastes like. Suddenly, Healthy at Every Size was out, and low-rise jeans were making a comeback. Angry fat activist writers began pumping out articles expressing how heroin chic was back in, and they couldn't understand why this was happening. But the change was already in motion, and rather than having to pretend that fat is beautiful and everybody enjoys being overweight, celebrities in particular could take these drugs and then lose weight with relative ease. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian were making massive changes. She downsized her famous BBL. Singer Lizzo was losing lots of weight and slimming down after promoting fat acceptance for years.
And she's still not a musician, guys. I mean, a musician, guys. She's still not a musician, pulling rabbits out of hats and asses and shit like that and shit. If you don't know what I'm referencing, go look that clip up when somebody asked her about her being a musician.
And side note, she had to caption a TikTok video recently. Reminder, you can lose weight and still not be fatphobic. Trying so hard not to lose that audience that doesn't want her to be healthy. It's sad, that's really sad. Meghan Trainor, a musician who previously and proudly sang about not being a size 2, was suddenly and definitely a size 2.
Damn. Yeah. Although, the way they switch between ideologies like this, between being either positive at every size or being or losing weight as being or just getting healthy in general, basically, I feel this is all just yeah, it just all feels like this is just clout for social media and being an e-celebrity or wherever the hell they call themselves now.
Even Weight Watchers started peddling GLP-1s. Recently on that front as well, sports star Serena Williams, of all people, has partnered with a GLP-1 weight loss company, which, you know, definitely wasn't in the bingo cards this year. She's actually been very busy lately complaining about cotton, as you do.
All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great. So actually, it feels like nail polish for cotton, natural.
So
complains about the cotton, but proceeds to pick it anyway, or whatever. Isn't half of what she's wearing actually made from cotton? What the retarded hell was that?
Yes, the body positivity movement was in fact co-opted by fat acceptance and morphed into the icky weird thing that we know it as today, which was turned into a bunch of slogans and hashtags, and then a bunch of brands jumped on board to take advantage of the momentum that they saw happening out in the world. But with these new miracle drugs, the narrative absolutely flipped. And just by the way, I don't want to get into my personal thoughts and feelings on these. I think this is another case where you as an individual have to decide for yourself if the risk is worth the reward, and nobody else can tell you if it is or isn't. Anyway, the new standard recently has become pretty clear that fatness isn't something to embrace anymore, it's actually something to be fixed. And as more and more people, particularly those in positions of power, so to speak, people who have large audiences, people who have a really big reach, have gotten thinner and thinner, their audiences have not been taking this well. Remy Bader, a TikToker who built her brand on US size 16 clothing hauls, hyped up fans by telling them to just wear what they want. But she became the subject of ire after she dropped an enormous amount of weight via weight loss surgery. Not Ozempic, but still.
I know I keep pausing, but I just have to say, if you're looking for inspiration to lose weight and, lose weight soon, I mean, if you're really worried about your health, just go look at what happened to poor John Pinette. I mean, he was a really funny guy. I know I said this earlier, but yeah, I mean, he did lose weight, but it was a little bit too late for him, though, but yeah, guys, do this. If you really want to lose some weight, do it soon, and do it in a very healthy way, guys.
A medical intervention, so, I'm gonna say that it fits. She stayed quiet about this for months, letting fans speculate, until she eventually revealed the truth on Khloe Kardashian's podcast. Her comment section was a war zone. Fans called her dishonest for not being upfront, feeling like she had abandoned them to be skinny. That's the long and short of it. More likely so she won't die of a heart attack at 40. But their reasons make sense too, my guess. This experience was similar to that of fat influencer Rosie Blair, also known online as Rosie Beam, who I've discussed in previous videos. Back in January 2024, she posted about her weight loss journey, admitting to using Mounjaro, which is another one of these injections. In one post, she wrote that weight loss meant that she felt like she had access to a world that she was previously missing. She liked not being concerned about the size of seating out in the world. She liked flying without feeling worried, and she liked working on her cardiovascular.
You know, I have to agree with Smug Alana. I mean, yeah, that's right, the fat cat, the smuggler, a smuggy. But yeah, I was watching that video that she did about this a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I have to agree with her. I mean, if some of these women, if they lost, I mean, just look at some of the examples that were shown earlier. I mean, if some of these women actually made the effort to lose all the weight, I mean, just look at them in the face. Yeah, I have to agree with Alana on this. I mean, yeah, they would be really freaking hot.
Health to achieve her dream body. Now, normal, well-adjusted people would see this as a good thing. Being healthy is a good thing. Having access to the world around you is a good thing. Being able to fit in the world around you is a good thing. But this poor woman's audience didn't see it that way. They accused her of fat phobia. They actually have said some very, very awful things to her. They accused her of being ableist and suggested that she's suggesting that fat bodies can't function. I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote. Blair responded saying that she left the body positive community because she wanted to be more than her size. The backlash eventually got so intense that some fans suggested everyone collectively unfollowing her entirely. But this has been the experience of countless former fat activists and models and celebrities and what have you. Like Mindy Kaling. I've never said that word out loud.
Anybody else ever think she was actually kind of hot? I never watched her show. I mean, I think I watched part of the pilot. It was just boring. It wasn't funny. But yeah, I used to think she was kind of hot.
I've only ever read it, so not sure if I'm saying it right. Probably not, but I don't care. Who has been accused of using Ozempic to get skinny because she lost a ton of weight really quickly, and therefore was accused by fans of promoting fat phobia. Or Oprah Winfrey, of all people, who stepped down from her lead role at Weight Watchers after admitting to using weight loss drugs, dropped 60 pounds, which I think is like, what, 120 kilos in the correct system of measurement? Her ABC special.
Yeah, let's follow what a celebrity says. Yeah, instead of putting the work in, let's just take the easy way out of this and inject our fat asses with whatever the hell that we think is going to make it easier to avoid getting our asses up and actually moving around. I mean, what the hell? I mean, it's why we gotta stop listening to these celebrities. I mean, what the hell? I mean, come from the people who can do anything they want all day, have enough money to afford to be able to basically be as fat or thin or whatever as they want, while the rest of us have to work for a living. I mean, these people are just encouraging laziness. Guys, don't be lazy. I mean, come on. Get up right now and let's all do some squats, guys. Come on. I mean, whoever's listening to this, I really hope that do some push-ups. I hope you do some workouts or do something. But don't listen to these celebrities. I'm tired of calling them celebrities. I mean, where are they really? I mean, what have they really influenced our society to do? They're just encouraging, I mean, selfishness in a lot of ways. I mean, yeah, but yeah, don't be selfish. Don't be lazy. Yeah, get up, do some jumping jacks, some push-ups, something. Just do something, guys. Don't listen to these people. Don't be lazy. I mean, come on, guys.
And the weight loss revolution pushed a stop shaming message while centering weight loss as empowerment. Fans here were very upset because Oprah was supposed to be their OG fat positive icon, but obviously that quickly fell apart when she found a way out of obesity. So why does people losing weight, why does people bettering themselves, why do these weight loss drugs send the dying dregs of this movement into a complete tailspin? Well, a lot of these people built platforms on body positivity and fat acceptance, promoting an objectively terrible ideology that made people feel comfortable.
She's starting to look like a real-life version of Peter Griffin. That's when you know you gotta start making some changes.
In their weight gain. Their weight loss, especially when it's quiet or framed as a health journey, feels like a middle finger to a community of people who want their own obesity reaffirmed. So it's not just about losing weight, it's about a huge cultural shift that's happening. One that signals that this movement never really had any legs to stand on to begin with and is now slowly falling apart.
More like fell through the floor and can't get back up again.
Fat influencers leaving the movement absolutely started some time ago, and after the deaths of several well-known creators who died of obesity-related issues, the departure has only accelerated. But honestly, it's not terribly hard to see why so many people feel abandoned by their favorite fat influencer, getting skinny and getting in shape, when psychology blogs are telling them it's completely valid to feel betrayed by weight loss? By the weight loss of their favorite online people. This stuff is so not okay. And I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but it's not normal to feel this way. If anything, I think it's rooted in some deep-seated insecurity and jealousy. The sort of, if I have to look like this, so do you type of thing. Which is ironic and interesting because that, in and of itself, has become this sort of new trendy school of thought because people forget that they don't actually have to be fat. What I think a lot of people here are actually mad about is the not so subtle reminder that if they wanted to improve, they could. Seeing someone bettering themselves, especially if they're doing it through regular channels like diet and exercise, and I guess actually to an even larger extent with these weight loss shots, because a lot of people view it as a cheat code, seeing people do these things and act like this serves as an example of all the things that this other group of people are not doing, but they could be doing if they wanted to, and it makes them feel bad. But instead of addressing the root causes of those very dysfunctional feelings and making positive changes to move through the world with better ease, instead these group of people demand that everybody else acquiesce to them and make changes in order to accommodate their hefty size. Which isn't just unrealistic, it's impossible. The bottom line is that weight loss drugs are not new. And honestly, putting efforts forward, especially in the medical community, to address obesity is also not new, and they are making strides. I think every couple years something new comes out that helps people shed a bunch of weight, and then a couple years after that we find out that it makes you grow like extra toes or whatever. I know that on a statistical level, people have been and are getting fatter, but I do think that we are going to see a big change there in coming years because we are returning to the aesthetics of the early 2000s especially, and that doesn't really in any way, shape, or form accommodate fat acceptance and body positivity in the messed up version that we find it these days. Being hot and cute and sexy is back in, and especially as the entertainment industry and celebrity culture and advertising and marketing move away from fat acceptance and body positivity, we're going to see a reemergence of attractive people everywhere in the coming years. And that is just my prediction, and I could be wrong, but 60% of the time I am right 100% of the time. Really early body positivity did have good intentions, but as with most movements, it was co-opted by insane people and weird initiatives, and that is why we are seeing it fall by the wayside. That is why we are seeing the death of fat acceptance, and honestly, I think this issue is only going to fall away further as the years progress. So in the end, I do think it's worth saying that I have so much respect for people who are trying to get in shape and lose weight. I think that's really cool. I think that is such a noble and good thing to be doing in this day and age. I think that there is no reason why you have to be fat, and if you are on a quest to get lean and healthy, that is awesome, and I genuinely wish all the best for you.
Hell
but for
yeah.
the rest of us, I am sure this is not the last that we will hear about the dying fat acceptance movement as it loudly and quickly falls apart. Now on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder, check out Ground News using the link in the
It's always been a very bad thing. But yeah, guys, don't be selfish, don't be a glutton, and don't be a gooner, and have a sense of humor. Thanks, Sydney. Everybody go check out Sydney Watson, guys. Yeah, it's a very informative and wholesome channel.
number of years. Been a long-time supporter of this channel, so I do encourage you to go and check out what they have to offer. They are doing something that is so necessary today, and I think that it's a really, really good idea that we support people who are making the news space better. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? What do you make of these weight loss drugs? Are you on board with them? Do you think they're a good thing? Do you think that they are a bad thing and we are going to learn in a number of years why they're a bad thing? Do you think that the fat acceptance movement is dying, that's falling out of favor because we are prioritizing cute and sexy and hot people again in media and in entertainment? Do you think that that's not really the case at all and that this is just a trendy thing? This is just everybody following trends and fat acceptance will be back before we know it? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you're not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well as leaving this video a like and a comment because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Except when you guys yell at me, that doesn't make me feel very nice. Of course, my little chickadee noodle heads, I hope you stay safe and well and make good choices. And if you are on your weight loss journey, make sure you go to the gym, go and lift up heavy things and put them back down again. And I will see your wonderful little faces in the next video.
Yeah, guys, and that was the the first ever Fat Cat Reacts. That was the premiere to Sydney Watson's Fat Acceptance is Over. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to remind you, I can't post links here on YouTube. So, yeah, I'm going to have to shill myself. Not to shill my channels, I mean myself here. If you guys want to see more content, you can join me on Rumble at My Cozy Games. You can also find me on X at Fat Cat's Cozy Games. I also do shows on Twitch at Fat Cat Cozy Games. I don't really have a set schedule right now, but yeah, we try to do a show most like every other day, if not every day. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be doing more shows. We play games, we laugh at videos, yeah, we generally make fun of things. Yeah, anyway, guys, hope to see you soon. And remember, guys, don't be a Guna and have a sense of humor.